in. Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. So, how is everybody doing on this Sunday, the Juice Show day? Yes, absolutely. All right. So, the way we do this is we want to know who is out there joining us today. What are you all up to? We want to know. So, just chime in and let us know where you're chiming in from so we can let the people know who invited you that you actually showed up and showed out. All right, everybody. So, without further ado, let me find out who is out there. I know I'm not by myself. Absolutely not. Oh, let me put on my peeps so I can clearly see your names clearly. All right, everybody. Who is out there? Oh, my goodness. Look at all these people flying in. Hey there, Rich Rising family. ATL Georgia in the building. Welcome. Maddie from Louisiana or Louisville. Welcome. All right, all right. I see Philippe, New York City. Welcome. Who else is out there? Valerie from Nashville, Tennessee. Yes. Hey, Anita from Florida. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Glad you are here today. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. So, as we always say in our business, you are in business for yourself, but never, ever by yourself. And so that's what we like to share on this Juice Show podcast is that there is definitely some education and community to support each and every one of you out there that definitely wants to be a part of the real estate investing industry. Absolutely. There's a spot for everyone out there. So who else is out there? Welcome. Come on in. Glad you all are here today. All right, all right. Definitely let us know where you are chiming in from. Yes, indeed. As you can see on the background, we are just showing you a snippet. I mean, just a snippet of our nationwide community. So enjoy. All right, everybody. Who else is out there joining us? All right. Hey, Jackie from ATL. Come on in. Thank you. Glad you all made it. And each and every time, hey, Felicia from Grand Rising, you know it, from Florida, welcome. Come on in. Who else is out there joining us? I just saw Jasmine. Jasmine, where you chiming in from? Let us know. Absolutely let us know where you're chiming in from. I'm telling you, each Sunday we get a kick out of putting this show together for each and every one of you. We have so much fun behind the scenes, you would not believe it. Maybe we should have a blooper video reel someday. Hey, Jasmine says upstate New York. All right. Welcome. Who else? Tyler from New York. Uh-oh. New York is taking over. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. All right, welcome. Well, as I always say, and I'll keep on saying, we have a talented crew behind the scenes. We like to share with you their talents and what they are doing and what they're up to. And they've created our own special video. Welcome, Jasmine. All right. Who we are we are definitely glad to share with you the video that we got together just for the Juice Show. Who else is out there while that video is coming up? I see next, and I mispronounced your name. Please let me know. From New York City, she says. And we also, all right, who else is out there? Oh, I see Conrad. Conrad's coming in. Conrad is definitely coming in. All right. Oh, we got more people jumping on fast and furious. Yes, indeed. Who else is out there? Let us know where you're chiming in from. All right, here's our video.
power. How far will you go to get it?
Yes, how far will you go to get the juice? Definitely from today's The Juice Show. So, before I introduce our special guest today, I would like to introduce the Juice Crew. And that would be we got Jerry, we got James, we got Bobby, we got myself. We got people behind the scenes, Taretha. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you. Oh my goodness. I am beyond excitement to introduce a truly special guest. Someone who is becoming a powerhouse in the real estate, but also a beloved and deeply respected member of our investor community. You're truly one of a kind, and we are so lucky to have you again today. A family man, a passionate advocate for collaboration, and a real estate investor with a heart of gold. Based out of what? Queens, New York. He has mastered short term rentals, the Burr method, and wholesaling, always keeping integrity at the forefront of everything he does. But what really sets him apart is his dedication to bringing people together, sharing knowledge, and building lasting relationships. His philosophy is simple: do things together, move quickly, and document the journey because success is never just about the destination. It's about how we get there and who we get there with. His impact on our community isn't just in real estate achievements, but in the way he lifts everyone around him, inspiring others to reach their potential and take action. But beyond the numbers and the strategies, he is a man who truly values his family. He's a proud father of a beautiful 2-year-old son and a loving fiance. His commitment to them and to his community speaks volumes about his character. He is also a passionate for staying useful, playing sports, staying healthy, and forever writing poetry. Yes, I said poetry. It's his way of balancing the hustle of real estate with the joys of life. His longtime mission is to bring people together to achieve great things, and he aspires to use real estate as a stepping stone to support his lifestyle so that one day, he can dedicate himself to his first true love, poetry, full time. He's a man who lives by his word, serves his community with pride, and is someone who will always be there for you. Join us together again, second time around, the one and only Chinadu Mboisi Sibe.
Wow.
Welcome.
Man,
Go
where'd you
ahead,
guys
big
get
dog.
LaShawn at?
How did you like that, bro? How did you like that? How did that make
That
you
was
feel?
fantastic. I really loved her tone of voice. It made me kind of excited. I was try my hardest not to smile through it.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Well, we love that, man. So it's been 5 months, a short 5 month period, y'all. So I just gotta ask you again, because we want to state for the record. We want to put this on record. How old are you again, bro?
28, man.
Oh God. When I hear people say I'm in my 20s and I'm doing this, I be thinking like, what was I thinking, man? What was I thinking? Right? Great job, brother. You so inspiring, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, right? 54th episode we had Chinadu right here on the Juice Show, y'all. He came in, he shared with us that he has done 17 transactions during that episode, right? And so my first question to you, Chin, is what's the biggest difference between Chinadu episode 57, I mean 54, to Chinadu today, episode 79?
Wow. I've learned from more mistakes. Yeah, I've definitely learned from more mistakes, I'd say, and I've transitioned into kind of being more secretive about what I'm doing to now sharing more and helping people towards the process so they can also do the same thing.
That is super, super duper awesome, right? And so as you grow, right? What would you say the role or consistency that played a big part of your growth?
Man, going to events and networking with people who are like far away from me in their journey. I can get to them, but just listening to them and where they are in their business. Like I speak to people who have like 100 units, 400 units, 300 units, and just getting to pick their brain and hear their experience and what they're really transitioning into. I think that's what helped me kind of like shape my mindset and my journey and not really, yeah, even 800 units. I went to a meeting with Matt. This guy had 800 units in one city. So just
Wow,
listening to those people speak and see like what they really care about in life once they've achieved that money was like, oh man, okay, cool. If I can start adopting that mindset early, it won't be so hard to kind of fall into it as I grow.
nice. Last question. What is you had 17 transactions when you first came. How many transactions have you done since?
I am at 23 right now, and crossing my fingers at the end of the month, I'll be at 25.
Nice. That's
All
impressive,
right,
bro.
man. Everybody give a clap for Chinadu, man. That's
Congratulations,
progression.
bro.
That's
Congratulations.
progression.
Woo
We
woo!
love it. You know, we just love to hear that you just keep that engine moving and you just keep progressing, moving things along. But one thing I really like is your story is like where you first came from, like even when you were working at Starbucks and then now into real estate investing. And those are two different things. How did you make the transition into real estate investing?
Oh man, shout out to Ron, right? Like real big shout out to Ron. I remember working at Starbucks and not being able to see that far besides the supervisor role, and those dreams got cut short as soon as I got fired. Man. So I spent maybe like a year and a half just trying to understand who I was, just and it was so tough, being in your early 20s, you don't really know what you want to do. You went to college, but you don't love the subject you went to college for. And who do I speak to help me guide my path if everyone around me already went that path that I'm not looking to go towards? So luckily I saw a roadside sign and I called it. Ron picked up. I hung up right away. I wasn't ready. I thought it was kind of like a scam. I was hoping to speak to like an answering service. And, Ron chased me for a year until I was serious to get started in this community. And I just mentally I wasn't ready. I just was not ready for this information. I was scared that I may actually reach my goals here, as crazy as that sounds. But I'm very thankful that Ron kept calling me, kept texting me, kept inviting me to trainings like this. And after seeing enough, I finally built my confidence and say, hey, you know what? I think I can do this. I think I can do this. And yeah, so that's what gave me the real estate bug, along with reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Nice. So in the beginning, was it the Rich Dad Poor Dad that sparked your mind to start thinking about real estate, which then had you, then you seen a sign about real estate that made you want to call and leave a voice message with Ron? What was that the initial was that initially what introduced you to real estate is reading those books about wealth, like Rich Dad Poor Dad?
So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad first, and I had the real estate bug, and I joined their program, and I think I was in it for like 2 months, and then I realized, oh wow, I need more than knowledge. I need like I need people to speak to along with the knowledge, and that's why this community was great. Because in Rich Dad Poor Dad, their group, I didn't speak to nobody. It was just some pre-recorded training, some paperwork, and they said go out and be great. So coming here, I realized I need more than just education. I need people to speak to. I need people to run my ideas by. and I need people to listen to so I can just, you know, learn from their mistakes and learn from their success.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. So the whole learning process from books, from starting at Starbucks, not thinking that you were going to even get out of there or get past that, and coming into real estate. So with that said, what now that you kind of established that you came across this community, you felt confident in doing something, what's your current real estate focus and what is Big Chin doing right now?
What is my focus? My focus is paying it back. You know, when I first got started, I got the nickname the human sponge because I asked so many questions, and I still do. You know, I'm still learning as I'm going. But I feel like I've taken so much from the community that now I want to give back, and I want to, you know, I just want to help people who wants to get started as well. So that's kind of my focus, along with, of course, continuing to build my portfolio and do deals and strengthen my partnerships in the community as well.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Well, since let's see. So is your focus still on short-term rentals, or have you expanded outside of that? And how is that transition from, you know, short-term rentals to what you would like to do now?
Gotcha. In one of the classes, my favorite instructor, Chris Albin, he said something that always stuck with me. He said, you have to do both strategies, you know, a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy, because you won't get rich just buying a few rentals a year. You know, cash flow is probably about like $300. I spent that on Target yesterday, buying my son some snacks and diapers. Swear. So, you know, short-term rental is definitely my focus so I can build up that cash flow. But on the other hand, I'm also buying properties with my partner Ryan in the community, just so we can do both, you know, pay for my lifestyle and build wealth in the meantime, and also help people at the same time.
Love that. I love the fact that you exactly what you said. You are inspired to give back, right? And that's really so, paying it forward is kind of like the way of this community, right? We've all come in like wanting to learn that specific thing, whatever it may be. But then it's when you go to, hey man, I just want to thank you for helping me achieve that. And it's like, no, 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 no. How you show me thanks is you do this for someone else. So I hear that in terms of what you said, you are inspired. So share a little bit about that. You said you want to help 5 people achieve. What does that look like?
Yeah, one of the goals I set with Ron this year was I want to help 5 people like achieve $20,000 outside of their W-2, you know, in their business, in this realm, of course. So I've helped 3 people so far. Well, I've helped 2 people get to the finish line, and the third person is in the works right now, working hard in the background to get to the finish line. So yeah, that's been the journey so far. 2 people got into their first short-term rental deals, and you know, I helped them find it. I helped them run the numbers. I helped them negotiate the deal. I got them some really good terms. So you know, they got in at the perfect time because right now was high season in the market that they entered. So, you know, just hearing them show me gratitude was like, oh wow, this is like this feels better than closing the deal.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love that. So glad. So if you guys missed that, and if you guys missed last week, the individual that was on the show last week, you got to go back catch the last episode. What Chin just said is that he was inspired to help 5 people. 3 of the 5 people that he's helped so far, one of those people were on the call last week. So you got to go back and catch the last episode. It's fire.
Hmm.
We call him Double Burger. He out there crushing it as well. Shout out to Big Sam. But yeah, Chan. So this is totally like I'm elated by this, right? So what would you say like is your I guess what I want to ask is when you how do you or do you see this as something you'll continue beyond the 5 people that you help?
Yeah, I wanna say yes. The only reason I pause is, when you say yes to something, you don't know what you're really committing yourself into. But yeah, I wanna say yes. I will continue to do it, and whatever work comes with it, I just figure it out.
Okay. And then my last one is what advice would you give to others who want to uplift their community, do kind of what you're doing, like what you're doing?
If you want to help your community, you got to go through the fire first. You can only give what you have. So you definitely got to, build yourself up, go out there and, prove some of your ideas, prove it to yourself, and then turn around and help someone else. But you could definitely only give what you have. So you gotta get with those skills, you gotta go get your reps
Fire.
marketplace and then go help someone else.
Man, Chin, I love the answers to these questions that you give. And it's also seemed like you're philosophical in a sense, right? Now I know you into like poetry. How deep into the poetry are you in?
And so deep that I'm upset about it. Business in the last 2 years has definitely the main thing that made me really go hard with real estate. Like my biggest life goal is to have enough real estate flowing that it can pay for my family's lifestyle so I can write poetry. Because I understand poetry is not paying the bills right now, man. So business in the last 2 years has kind of taken me away from it. I made that sacrifice, but it's always in the back of my head, and that's like I know for sure that's what I'm gonna like leave this earth doing, writing poetry.
That's deep. That's dope. But look, I want to go right into some of the short-term rentals. Now, I know you first started off in wholesaling. One thing I do like when I talk to Chin, I see some similarities. I got a super duper passion, love for wholesaling because that's how I got started. But I also do short-term rentals. So talking to Chin, and when I asked him, what's his like favorite strategy, he like little pause, and usually he already knows his answers, but he had to think about it, and it's because we learn so much within his education that it's like so many things you can do. But he mentioned wholesaling was one, and then the short term rental. So how did you make the transition from the wholesaling, and how was that to short term rentals? Start thinking about doing those.
Yeah, I want to say I got forced into wholesaling because of where my knowledge was in the beginning. I did not know the next step. Like I didn't know the money part. I didn't know, I just didn't know the next step to purchase the house. So wholesaling was the easiest thing for me to fall into. And then I kind of got tired of it, tired of the process. And then my fiance got pregnant. And, wholesaling is all the dirty work. And I wanted a strategy that we can both do it together and, just bond more. Our bond was already tight, but, when a kid comes in picture, it changes the dynamic. So short-term rental was a perfect strategy. She designs it. I run the numbers. I do the negotiations. I build the team. Like I'm not like this shirt. She picked it out. I'm not skilled with designing stuff, so it was perfect for her and myself to kind of work together on that. So yeah, that's how I got into short-term rental. Just wanting to do something with my fiance so we can just continue our family bond. And getting into short-term rentals, I realized, man, I miss wholesaling only because I love talking to people. Like I literally love talking to people. With short-term rentals, I'm barely speaking to people whatsoever. I'm just like, I'm just facilitating, like literally. Like I can go all day about what goes into short-term rentals, but to keep it short, I'm just facilitating and I just missed speaking to people. So that's why wholesaling is my favorite strategy.
I had to laugh at Jason's comment, bro. It kind of threw me off, man. Man, that came at the perfect time for you, bro. But all right. So with your wife helping you, um, so how deep is she into helping design or her input in your short-term rentals? Because you got to think, putting together a short-term rental from scratch to finish, how is that process for you? Is it something that you look forward to, or is it something that you depend on others outside of yourself? How does that work?
Yeah, she's deeply involved. Like she sets the tone, she sets the um like she sets the mood board, everything. She buys all of the furniture, she picks it out, and I'm just here to kind of like I'm just picking out the amenities that's gonna drive revenue, and she's picking out all the stuff that's gonna make it look good. So that's kind of like how we tag team on it together. She gets full creative control. I just show her what the market is looking for, and then she does her thing. And I'm just grateful that I don't really have to put any input in it.
No,
Yeah.
no, that works. As much help as that is, and you can sit back and have somebody take care of that, knowing that it's going to come out the way that you wanted it, or both of you guys kind of combined to make it work. So, with that said, and we've been talking a lot about real estate. There's some new people on here checking us out for the first time. If not, there'll be some people in the future, from recordings being able to check this out also. So, with that said, what is the best way to get into real estate and get to the level where you're at? What kind of action? What does that look like?
And what is the best way to get into real estate? Um, First you got to commit, right? You can't dabble into it. You just got to commit. And then two, I think the easiest way to get into it is get around people doing it. They will speed up your process faster than you could on your own, faster than what you can find on Google. So, commit, get some education, and hang around people who's actively doing it, actively speaking about it. And, sooner or later, you will be actively doing it, actively speaking about it. I came here with no experience. Yeah, I didn't know anything, man. All I knew is I wanted to do this, and that was it. And that's all I really needed, I guess.
I see. No,
Yeah.
that makes sense. But right quick, what you also said is when you called the sign, you hung up immediately,
hmm
being that you weren't ready. But were you that same person um before? Because I know you said you like to talk to people. So is that something you had to come into speaking to people, or did you learn that from being in the community?
Yeah, I learned that here, man. I went 12 years of school, right? And 4 years of college, and no one teaches you how to speak to people. Like no one teaches the importance of communication unless that's your major. But oh, like I think Starbucks was my first exposure to actually speaking to people because I'm behind the register taking orders, but on a professional level, on explaining, going from idea to vocalizing it. No one taught me that. So I learned that here, like how to understand my thoughts, how to express it, how to share the vision, how to, just how to connect with people and find out like how to help them while helping myself in the process. Yeah, when Ron called me, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. It was just, fight or flight, boom, I'm gonna hang up and yeah.
That is a story because I know a little bit about that story behind the scenes, right? So if I could share you a little bit of it. So here's a 20-something-year-old meeting with Ron, another older fella, and he's like, looking around. Then we got another young brother that was in the room. So they basically looked at each other like, bro, a lot of older guys here. I think me and you should connect. So that's how you and Ryan kind of connected. So it's just an awesome story behind that. Normally I ask a person, what would you tell your younger you, right? Nah, I can't even ask you that question. So I'm gonna ask you this question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 7 years? So let's say 35, right? So the next 7 years, where do you see yourself?
Wow, 35 just sounds so overwhelming. Man, where do I see myself in the next 7 years? Healthy, healthy, right? That's one of the biggest thing I picked up in this community. You guys definitely push the wealth word around, but you guys also push the health world word around as well. So definitely want to be healthy in the next 7 years. I can't have my son not running me. Um, I want to be, you know, I still want to be known. Like I want to be healthy and I want to be known and I want to have the respect of my family and my peers. You know, all that those as I'm growing older and really embracing like my role today, those are some of the things that are starting to become more important to me. Like, yeah, I definitely like I got goals on the wall right now. I definitely got some money goals. I definitely got how many? I want 200 doors. You know, I want to be able to exit my business and maybe sell it one day. So those are goals along the way, but I definitely want to be healthy. I want to be respected. I want to still be relevant, and I want to be able to say, you know what, you know, Chin helped me get this far, and I'm really thankful for it. So that's where I see myself in 7 years, just someone who someone who's spoken about like that.
Yeah, you on mute there. I don't know if you said something.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so what I was my next kind of transition was for you, Chin, is you did this short-term rental training about a how it was a couple of months ago.
October, yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple of months ago. And from that training, um, I mean, I've done a couple of short-term rentals myself, but not to the level of what you have achieved, right? And so I know it was for me important that I take that training because there were some things that I just didn't know, right? And so I'm forever grateful for that training because some of the things that I did learn, I didn't know in my business, and now I'm starting to implement it, right? So you have a second training that's coming up that is, I, I guess, kind of building off of that first training. Is that correct? Is that
Correct.
something? Okay. So what can you share about the first training and that transition to what you're going to be doing in this next training?
Yeah, good question. So the first training I did in October, it was 6 hours straight. 6 hours straight. Shout out to everybody who stayed on to the end of it. I went over the first steps. You know, I get a lot of questions of people asking me step 10 and they don't know step one. So I went over the first steps on how to, you know, start this business from like a professional. So you do not get somewhere and you don't know how you got there. So I went over, you know, how to pick a profitable market, how to find out city regulations, how to find the top earners in your city and how to replicate what their success is, how to run the numbers and underwrite a deal. And I went over some other questions that people that was on the training had. Realized after that training that, you know, some people may sit on the information for too long before doing something. So that's when I started, you know, marketing in a brand new city and throwing leads at people, throwing opportunities at people. And luckily, two people jumped on opportunities. So, and you know, they went, it's been a full 30 days since they've started the deal I got them in. And the numbers I projected, they made more than that. So I was like, okay, cool. For the second training, I'm gonna build off of number one, but it's gonna be more live demonstrations, you know, from I'm gonna, you know, go over the same topics, how to find profitable markets, how to find the top earners in that market, how to understand the regulations in that city, and if it's even worth it to continue in that city based on regulations. But I'm also gonna do live demonstration on everything I'm going over and helping people find leads in their backyard or, you know, cities they just want to consider entering so they can see it step by step how they can do it on their own and maybe find their own opportunities this time.
Now you said a lot of people come to you with, hey, what's step 10, Chen? How do I get to step 10? Would you
Mhm.
just, or would you be a, I guess, would you share with the people how, because I want to kind of give something to the people who was inspired to go back and take that first training, especially if they are deciding to go into this next training, you go to your next training. So what would you say that someone who was thinking about, hey, I want to take this your second training and not take the first? Kind of touch on that a little bit and how they could get access to that first training.
Um, I'm thinking. I okay. So the training I'm doing on the 15th is a build off. It's a spin-off on the one I did in October. I think this one is going to be better because I'm going to be more hands-on with people and it's going to be more interactive. So if someone wants to do step one and figure out how to start it correct and do it professional, that they should come to the training on the 15th.
Got it. So,
All right, got it.
Jay, so throw in a special. If somebody if somebody go to the first training, the Juice Show, we can throw in some type of special. Someone who want to get to the first one. So get with us. We can hook you up. So,
Right, right. Most definitely. But I like that you doing that, man. You started off with getting fired. Sometimes it seems like something has to happen right in our life for us to start looking at other things. Otherwise, we get comfortable in our roles and we having a good time. And then you transition to real estate. But now you're paying it forward, you helping other people actually get their feet wet and started on their first short-term rental. Now, short-term rental is a great strategy because it creates cash flow for people. And the way you're showing them right how to do it is the same exact way you learned it, right, Chen?
Absolutely. I'm showing it how I learned it and adding my experience and what I picked up on the way because there's so many skill sets that are in this strategy that are not related to this strategy.
Right. So what's some of the so let's give an example. So, after a few people took your training, right? Some actually took action on it, right? And you work with one of them, I think you're on the call now, right? Which we had last week, Sam. So just give us an idea of like, hey, Sam took the training, Sam came out, we went through this process, got started, and then this how his first month looked like. So give us a story about that.
Yeah, Sam took the trainer, right? And Sam called me and texted me every single week with questions and follow-up questions. And I was like, oh, okay, Sam really trying to get busy, right? So, when you hear, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? So when you hear someone really thriving for your attention, you give it to them. So like, okay, cool. Let me take Sam serious. So I found one opportunity. I pitched it to Sam. And Sam, he would text me 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, just asking questions. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Sam is serious. So I met up with Sam on Zoom a few times. We ran the numbers together. I ran over, just some because I only taught step one. So I understand me just teaching step one and giving someone an opportunity. There's some things that they don't know. So I kind of sped up Sam's learning process so he can be as ready as possible so he can learn the rest on the way. So Sam was gonna take that opportunity, and then I found a better one, right? And because Sam was prepped for the first one, he recognized that the second opportunity was way better. Um, so I showed Sam the second one. We ran over the numbers. He ran it with his team, and then and boom, Sam committed to it. We met up in that city, Athens, Georgia. And while I was setting up one unit, Sam was setting up the second one. And we were with each other every day, just going through the process, like while he's, learning on his own. Because I didn't want to be all over Sam, really, because I wanted him to like being in the process is one of the best parts. Learning as you go is one of the best parts along with your education. So I definitely helped Sam as much as I thought that he needed it. He's a pretty bright dude. But I was definitely there to help him, like, yo, don't do that. Like literally, don't do that. I promise you, you'll regret it. This is what you should do. Yo, I can go all day, but and I want to hear Sam's property tour as well. But yeah, just to see Sam go from my training to his first deal, going live to leading his team now and bringing them up to speed, so they can follow his lead and get ready for the second one, and also how to fund the next one smarter is is really dope. So I'm really excited to do the next training and see who's next. You never know who's next. I didn't expect who it was gonna be, but it was cool for it to be Sam. So I'm just excited to see who's next to get in the game.
You know what? I really believe that somebody who never did a short-term rental deal would benefit a lot from being on there. And I believe even those people who got experience and have a couple short-term rentals can also learn something by being there. And I love the fact that you always highlight the importance of education, relationships, and taking massive action. Those are three things I always hear you talk about. So now let's talk about some of the education. Matter of fact, let's transition to announcements, then let's come back and bring you to some of the three classes that you felt that was very important to you in your journey in real estate investing. You could share a bit about those.
Okay. So yeah,
We ready for announcements now? Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we can do
ready.
the announcements. We can
all
do
right,
that.
go ahead. So Bobby, go
Let's do
ahead.
that. Let's do that.
Okay, I got you.
All right. Cool. Hey, what's up to all my poetry people, my music lovers, my writers? I'm in the same boat with you, Chin. I'm an artist as well. I mean, and I've seen a couple other people, Ron and my homeboy Dion in here as well. Man, we should collaborate, man. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing, you know. So, but with that said, man, we're gonna get back into these announcements. Our homeboy Jerry's gonna be setting that up right here. And everybody who's brand new, get out your phones, check it out. We're gonna be going through some things that's gonna be beneficial for you to get on, and ask your peoples who got you here, how can you get on these other events and things of that nature, so you can stay plugged in and connect with people like the brother Chin and Sam, and get with the team, the New York Team Empire, um, and how we work, and to see how the flow of everything is, and see if this is something that you would like to continue with. All right, cool. So as Jerry get this ready, we are going to at least get you started on the basics, at least for Sundays. Sundays, what you have going on today, and what you be able to check out today. Now, for the rest of the week, just stay plugged in as long as you can. Keep that same energy. Let everybody know that this is something that you're looking to do. All right. So here we go. Get out your phones. This is our weekly schedule, and this is how it goes down. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. You want to be right here in the Juice Show. And if you can't be here, you want to tell the next person that they want to be on the Juice Show, so they can get the juice, see what's going on in the community, see how people are building and connecting, and see where that leads to. All right. So this is where you want to be at. Make sure you check us out. And coming up right after the Juice Show, we have the introduction with our very own Mr. Jerry Ruffin. All right. So if you're new to this is just the introduction. This isn't, people have to understand that you are not going to be able to get into a deal based off the introduction. I know some people get misconstrued about how that works, but this is just a starter kit to where you want to be at, and just giving you the information of where you want to be. All right. So at 11:30, our very own Mr. Jerry Ruffin, he's going to be setting you up with the introduction, and he's going to be giving it to you, show you who we are, what we do, and how you can get involved with us. All right. So this is how that works. So there you go. All right. And today, the mastermind trainings, if you are serious about this and want to take action, make sure the guests get on here. Or if you have a lead that you want to put in front of investors for them to check out, so they're going to be asking you how you found it, how you think you're going to fund it, what strategies are you using. So this is the numbers that you're going to be going through, and that's very important to analyze a deal, attention to detail on how you're going to be able to do these things. Now, ask the person who got you on here to see if they can get you in the mastermind trainings, and see if they'll let you in. Usually that's like a higher up thing that you want to be a part of in order to get here. But for you, for this Sunday, if you go check out an introduction and have some knowledge, ask them and then see if you can get you on the mastermind trainings. All right. Cool. That's today at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern for the masterminds. All right. This is the Juice Show podcast page on Facebook. Make sure you like, follow, and review. And if you're coming into this late, and want to get back to some past podcasts that we have, this is where you want to be. So I know a lot of you might be on Facebook, so make sure you like, follow, leave a review. If you have any suggestions, if you're already part of the team and you want to see somebody on here that you haven't, or a certain topic or subject that you haven't seen us cover yet, let us know. We'll be happy to talk to you about it and make it happen. All right. So make sure you look us up right here, yo. All right, coming up next, we have Deals of the Community, Munity. All right, this is the people taking action. This is what it is right here. This is what it all comes down to. Getting your name up in bright lights, being recognized. If you like to be recognized, taking action from the education. So people, if you're brand new to this, these are the people that we talk to and put up their names to let them know that they are taking action with the education and moving forward and knocking it down, man. Just, surrounding yourself with the right people doing the right things, and good things will come, especially if you're consistent and want to know more about real estate investing. This is what it is. You're not going to get this anywhere else. No YouTube. You can watch. I mean, not to knock YouTube. There's some great information on there, but if you're doing deals off YouTube, man, you are a special mind, man. Especially if you don't have nobody to talk to, if something goes crazy and you don't know how to handle it. Hey, man, this is like no other. This is where you want to be. So we're gonna get back in a Big Chin in this class.
Sure.
All right. Sure. All right, let's get into it then. You gave us you ready for the classes, Jerry?
Do.
You gave us 3 classes that you really liked, that you felt that was really important to you. And so we're gonna bring those up right now. You can give us explanation of each one, and just break down each one and let us know what you got from these 3 classes.
Yeah, absolutely. Creative acquisitions. I'm a big Chris Albin fan. Like, I find myself quoting Chris Albin pretty much all the time. He really helped me get that investor mindset, so that I love Chris Albin. Creative acquisitions help me figure out, like, okay, if I cannot get this deal done this way, what's another way that I can make it happen? So that's why I love that class. Real estate red flags, how to identify the pitfalls just based on conversation and based on looking at certain things about the house. So it's always good to know the things to avoid before you even get into it, and what to identify before you even get into it. And can't forget about tax and legal day one, man. Anything tax and business structure, I'm a big fan, big advocate about it. I love write-offs. I just found out, like, my son started daycare, and he's messing up my sound right now. My son started daycare, I think, a year ago. I was talking to the person who does my taxes after watching his classes, and I found out I can write off my daycare payments. So this just stuff like that, how to leave my regular lifestyle and transform it into a business write-off, is just amazing. So that's why I love that class so much, because all this money that I'm gonna spit out, I can get it right back and lower my tax bill.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. All right, LaShawn, do we got any questions in the chat for Chin?
Oh my goodness, yes, we do. So, one question is, what is the advantage or disadvantage of renting versus purchasing your units for the short-term rental?
Um, I don't think you would lose either way. I think it's based on your situation. I have 10 units, and if I was purchasing, that's 10 down payments. And I didn't have enough money for 10 down payments when I got started. So, I think it's based on your situation. If you're short on capital but big on time, I think renting it is the way to go, and it's a less of a commitment. But if you got the money, then yeah, I think go buy the house so you can, take advantage of short-term rentals, and also take advantage of all the beauties of real estate. In the community we're talking, we can make money 4 times on one property. So I don't think you would lose either way. It's just based on your situation.
Thank you. Another question is, what would be your prerequisite to train someone to assist with getting into their first short-term rental?
This is a shameless plug. This is a shameless plug.
Do it, bro.
Come to my workshop, my live training on the 15th. I'm gonna go over step one because that's I learned short-term rentals to get my first two. And I had to like relearn everything I knew, and I had to start from the beginning from step one. So once you understand step one, if like you will never make the beginner mistakes because step one is the most important. If you can find a good city, find a good property or apartment in that city, and learn how to stay off the city's radar, you're golden. You're golden. Everything else is just operations. So into my training on the 15th, I'm going to teach you step one. I'm going to teach you how to get into your first deal. I'm going to teach you how to find the city, how to run the numbers, how to find the best product in that city. And most importantly, you'll be professional. You will be professional because that's what you want to be in this business to last.
All right, thank you. Next one is, what are the pros and cons of wholesale versus pros and cons of short-term rentals?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Uh, Pros of wholesaling is it's less of a financial commitment in the return of ROI you get. The con is it's all the dirty work. It probably takes the strategy that takes the most time. Yeah, so it's less money, but it takes so much time because you got to speak to a lot of people to get that deep discount. Like you need two discounts, a discount for your buyer and a discount for yourself so you can make money. So, people are killing it in wholesaling, but just understand that it'll take a lot of your time. You gotta make phone calls, you gotta follow up with people. So that's the only, I guess, con. It's not really a con, it's just the work that goes into it. Pros of short-term rental is, and you can ask Sam, you can make money on as soon as you put up your listing. So I think short-term rental is the fastest strategy where you can cash out. Like Sam put up his listing and got, I think, 3 bookings within 24 to 48 hours, right? So that's one benefit. You can get money quickly in that one. Um, Two, you can do it with little capital if you're doing arbitrage, and little is relative, of course. And three, you make way more than a long-term rental. For example, my rent on a unit is $2,200. I'm not sure what my landlord is taking home, but on 25 days, I think I just made $5,200. So he can't charge that to a tenant, but I can charge that for people traveling to the area for, whatever reason they're traveling for. And the con is, man, what is the con of short-term rentals? That's a good question. The con is it can be very demanding when you first start, right? Just figuring out how to put all the moving parts together and also dealing with different personalities and different travelers that come to your house. So I would say that's the con, and I wouldn't even call them cons. It's just things that come with the business. You got to take the good with the bad.
Can
All
I
right,
say something? Because I didn't dabble
go
in
right ahead.
my con was
Mhm.
putting together the right team.
Mhm.
You can't do it by yourself, right? So putting this together and getting the right team, that will be a con, right? But like, what is that, right? When you get 5,200 a month, right? So hey, you gotta look at it for what it is, for sure.
Thank you. What are some of the things to consider when looking to pick a city to set up a short-term rental?
Things to consider. Um, Something to consider to pick a city. Make sure the city has a demand, for people traveling there. The last thing you want to do is end up in a city where people don't travel there that often, or even worse, people used to travel there and you think it was a hot spot and it's no longer a hot spot, right? So that's one. Two, city regulations. The last thing you want is for you to set up shop and then the city next month, maybe within the few months you get started, they say you can no longer operate in that zip code in that county. And you'll be shut down, legit. Um, there's a whole bunch. You got to come to the 15th because I'm gonna show you the things to I'm gonna show you how to not worry about those things. If you do it right from the beginning, those things don't even apply to you, you know.
All right. Would you suggest signing a lease in your personal name when setting up your first short-term rental?
Um, I've never done it. I know people who has. I don't think it's I think it depends on your situation, right? If you have if the deal is really good and that's the requirement, then do it, you know? Do it. If the deal is gonna like literally be able to help you leave your job, help you replace your expenses, but the only disclaimer is you have to sign in your personal name, go ahead and do it. You know, don't let it stop you just over technicalities. And then you can always like I've had to personal guarantee some of my leases because the landlord didn't believe in me, or maybe my pitch wasn't as strong back then, and so I would do it if I had to, but you know, don't let that stop you.
All right. What is the difference between the workshop on the 15th and the advanced part two that will be on the 29th?
Oh yeah, good question. So on the one on the 15th, it's I don't want to use the word beginner because I'm not going over basics. I'm just going over step one, you know, that and that's more than the basics. So I'm going to be speaking how to find profitable cities, and that's a skill you'll never lose. If you can find one, you can find many. So how to find profitable cities, how to run the numbers, how to figure out city regulations and can you comply, and you know how to get into your first deal. So basically, how to get started so you can pick your first city and find out what kind of property you want in that city. And the advanced one, I'm going into like, you know, advanced strategies that I've learned on the way from speaking to other people, from doing it myself, from, you know, reading other books and going to all these workshops. So I'm going to be talking about business credit, to fund your how to fund your first unit with no money out your pocket. I'm going to be talking about how to market for leads, and how to fill your pipeline with landlords. I'm going to be speaking about how to negotiate with your landlord so you can get great terms. Sam and JC, they got a month and a half free. They got the house for $2,000 a month when it's on the market for 3K. And you know, you're not just given that. You know, you have to negotiate that. You have to say the right things, and you have to provide value to the landlord. Um, so those are some of the things I'm going to be going over on the 29th, which is step two. Just more advanced stuff to, okay, I'm ready for step one. Now I'm ready for the next step. How can I find the money? How can I start marketing for leads? How can I close leads? And how can I set up my first unit, whether you want to be there live or you just want to be there remote?
All right, you heard it, everyone. So get ready, get going.
Hey, did you say JC?
How?
I'm
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
asking Chin. Did you say JC? Are you talking about Juan Carlos?
Yeah, Juan Carlos, he's the second person guy who got his first short-term rental, man, live and up.
So guess what, guys? Guess who's on the Juice Show next week?
Oh, really?
We got
Nice.
Juan Carlos. So we gotta make it to the he on fire
Oh,
over here.
where's he from? Juan Carlos, Jerry?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? Okay,
Yeah,
coming
living in
in, coming
Hawaii.
in from Hawaii. Let's go.
Yeah, he didn't have to
Shout
leave
out to
his
you,
house.
Chin, bro. Shout out to you, bro. You are doing your thing, man. This is man, I'm totally inspired. I just want to ask you this last thing. This is just a little quick question I want to ask you, right? Because everybody have their own aspect of real estate investing. What is one habit that has completely changed your productivity?
Man,
I like that.
I want to say waking up early, you know, waking like really maximizing my 24 hours. I would say that's the one thing. Maximizing my 24 hours, whether it's waking up early, you know, or going to sleep really, really late when it gets quiet. And also having a schedule with important things on there. You know, it's so easy to get caught up into just what the world is trying to like pull you into, you know. So just being intentional about how am I going to spend my time today and putting it on my schedule so it's real and not letting no one steal your time, you know. So just maximizing the time I got on earth while I got it.
Nice, man. That's totally awesome. Did anybody got something else before I kind of wrap it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So another question is, how long would you say it takes from signing your lease to going live with your next unit?
What? As long as that's a on you question because literally you can move in next day if you're ready. Legit, because the lease is signed. I now have control of that unit. So I can move in same day if I got furniture ready like that. I can start designing, I can go in and start painting as soon as I sign that lease and the unit is ready for me.
Man. So what he just said there, guys, is you need to get to the training on the 15th. If
Yeah.
you miss it, hey, don't worry, because I see we had a question. Hey, if I can't make it on the 15th, this will be recorded. So just get who invited you, let them know, hey, I'm looking to take that training and I want the Juice Show discount. So you gotta throw that in because we're gonna find a way to make it happen for you, right? So you can get in this thing. So shout out to you, Chin, man. Second time around, episode 79. You the man, bro. We appreciate everything that you do, the support that you provide for the community and helping build this thing, right? You know what I'm saying? That saying that you said in the beginning of the show, you are inspired to pay it forward, and that's where we all are, right? That's what this thing is all about, is who we can help, how we can help people achieve their goals and do what they want and get themselves out of their 9 to 5. And we see the little dog in the back. You ain't give him enough snacks. He said he gave him an hour worth of snacks, y'all. He's done with those snacks. So shout out to you and the wife, because we know you wouldn't be getting to where you're at without her. So shout out to her as well. And man, thanks for coming on the Juice Show, sharing your story. We definitely gonna get you back after you to help those 5 people and get their story as well. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for
I
coming.
got one more, right?
Yep.
One more. This is something that came off the first training because I realized some people are, you know, kind of shy or maybe they're kind of reserved. So for the part two, the second training I'm doing on the 29th, the more advanced one, um, doing 3 one-on-one sessions because I realize, like, even myself, you know, I appreciate a group setting, but I like things more intimate. I like to ask questions directly and go back and forth, right? So, I would definitely be doing 3 one-on-one sessions with everybody who comes because because everybody's situation is different. You know, maybe someone may be ready to buy a house, somebody may be ready to do arbitrage. So I want to make sure that I help people, you know, get their questions answered, get the confidence that they need, and also, most importantly, get to where they want to go.
So I can get 3 one-on-one sessions with you all day long, one-on-one sessions? How long?
Good question. He wouldn't even have that. Yeah, up to 1 hour, so 3 hours total in that one-on-one session. So, you know, definitely inquire on where you can get the link or the flyer for the training so you can be there for both of them.
Totally fire, bro. Appreciate it.
Chen, thank you. I mean, seriously, back again a second time. He is nicknamed Double Burger, and you can see why, because he's back a second time around. And now we kind of looking forward to the third. Thank you so much for being on here again and supporting the community and just being who you are. It shows that you truly do say what you do, and what you do, you actually say it and do it. So we're looking forward to seeing the workshop that's coming up, as well as the advance, and also looking to hear back from you again on what you've done since the last time you were here. So congratulations to you and your little one, as well as your fiance. Glad to see you again on here. Back to you guys.
Yes, yes. Another time, give it up for Big Chin. Thank you, Chin, for coming up on the show. I love to see your just, you know, your mindset, right? The questions that we asked today, you nailed them, right? You know, shout out to you and what you're doing. You can tell you got a big heart, you love giving, and you're taking something that actually works and you actually sharing that with other people so that way they can feel the happiness and joy that it feels when you're getting that monthly income coming in from real estate. And you started from nothing, from Starbucks, started with not a big pool of money, but showing that it is possible when you have the right education, right relationships, and you're willing to take the action that's necessary to get the results that you need, right? So shout out to you for coming on, jumping on, for partnering with other community members, Big Ryan, Double Burger Sam, JC. I think Matt gonna be joining you in the chat. So we already see it is working and people are following your great leadership, bro. So keep it going. I'm inspired. I love it, bro.
Oh, wait, real quick. Sorry. Just wanted to jump in and say, if you're not seeing the chat, and I'm sure you are, Chin, much love, fire emoji, smiles, and hearts, and claps out to you. Take it away,
Usually,
buddy.
usually, before we take it away, I usually ask for a takeaway for people. What would you want one thing for people to know, take away from the day?
Everybody, this is
I still get scared sometimes, you know. I've done a few amount of deals, but there's still this jitter. Like even when we hop on this call, you guys asked me how I feel, and I was like, "Yo, I'm ready," but I still have this jitter in my belly for
Exactly what he said.
you know. So even if you're scared, even if you're kind of doubting yourself, the best way to get past that is to kill the time in between that, like from the thought to the decision and action. So the faster you do it, you're no longer scared. You know, fear is just being scared of what could happen. So just do it. Just do it. And you know, the fear goes away. So that's the biggest takeaway I want to tell people. If you're scared, if you're doubting yourself, once you do it, that fear is gone, that doubt is gone, that disbelief is gone.
Last, tell the 5 markets that you already did short-term rentals in, because you in New York, Queens, to do it
Yeah.
in the state, trust me, that ain't easy at all. You know, I can go drive to all man, be personally like within 10 minutes. Like I actually go into some man later on, but I can drive to them. You're like, oof, another state. I'd be scared based on that. What those 5 markets you're already in?
Athens, Georgia. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm in Miami, Florida, and I also have long-term rentals in Kentucky.
Proving that you don't have to have a short-term rental in the neck of the woods of where you live.
Nope, I can't even get it in New York if I wanted to.
Boss, take us home, Bobby.
All right, everybody. One more time, give it up for Big Chin, yo. Salute, brother. Hey, man, I'm watching your progress. I'm a big fan. And I'm glad you're a part of the community and just another connection that each and one of us can reach out to if we have some questions, if we plan on going in that direction, you know. We plan on getting some more short terms. And I admit I trip and stumble on ours and learned a lot from you. And I look forward to learning more. So, but with that said, I'm not going to hold up anybody else's time. Thank you for spending this sensational Sunday with us. Shout out to LaShawn. And we really appreciate each and every one of you. This is where you want to be every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. So with that said, you have been
Juice, 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 juice.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Next week, don't miss it next week. Chin's another protege is on next